Welcome in, everybody. Tonight, we're going to be talking about zombies, vampires, and ghosts. So I hope
Yes.
you all are ready to jump down into the rabbit hole with us tonight. So, how are you all doing tonight? Hope you all are doing well.
Woo woo.
Yes, it's a big Halloween week here with conspiracy music and the ham show. Because not just this one to start things off with Sunday, but then big block party on Friday, costumes. So, and then that will jumpstart the weekend with other fun stuff. So, early
And
Halloween to everybody.
yeah, happy early Halloween. Definitely going to have some fun coming up next weekend. We got the Spooktacular Block Party. And Chad's got his Halloween show on Saturday. Sunday, we're going to be talking about the Halloween uh, origins, of course.
Yep.
And then,
Traditions, origins, and also urban legends.
yeah, and I don't know what people are doing on Monday night, but Independent Many United
Yeah.
Indies having a big Halloween party Monday night. So we'll make
Yeah.
sure that everybody knows to go over there. I see a lot of people in chat. I already got 20 people in here, so let's say hello to some people. I'll scroll all the way to the top. You can start at the bottom. How's that? Psychosocial, good to see you. Lynn, good to see you, Lynn. Hope you're doing well.
See Robbie Stingle. Hello,
Hey,
Robbie.
Robbie. Justine Kasprick, good to see you, Justine. I'm sure Kurt is right here somewhere as well. Camellia, good to see you, Cam.
Yeah, hi, Cam. Dennis Bowles.
Omni Collective Creativity. Pookie Ann, good to see you, Pookie.
I see Judy, Rebel Girls. She is here.
Abe the Band, good to see you, Abe.
Hey, Abe. Sunshine is here. Hello, Sunshine. Yeah, Sunshine Archer.
Ozark Drifter, good to see you. Lady Tanya Alexis, that's a new name for me. Good to see you. Clown Force, I dig the name. Al Solkel, good to see you, Al. Hope you're being safe out there on the streets, my friend. Avoid, good to see you, bro. You get your practice in, my brother. It's all good. By the way, Development of Avoid, great show last night, man. I had a great time.
Yeah, it was great. It was really great. That was a great stream.
And these Rockin' Rabbit Holes are open panel. So if there is anybody in chat that knows a thing or two about zombies, vampires, ghosts, the undead in general, definitely come on up and let's get into the fun of everything undead.
Right. Well, first, let me bring up. Where is it at? There we go. Oops. No. I wanted to bring up what the definition of undead actually is, at least according to Google. Undead of a fictional being, especially a vampire, technically dead but still animate. An undead monster from the movie. That doesn't really give us a whole definition of what undead is. Glenn Danzig might be the undead. Robbie Stingle, no shit.
Paul keeps saying that he invented Halloween, right?
Yes, that's correct, Chad.
Okay, we'll get more into that next week. But yes, Glenn Danzig's now
We should
seems to be.
have Brittany jump up on panel. She should be an expert in vampires. I don't think she ever sleeps.
Well, I do have a few articles, so we can start with whichever you guys decide, zombies, vampires, or ghosts. I got a couple of articles from each one of them.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. I mean, just looking at basically undead in general, um, something that uh, has in some way actually died and is still, active in some way or another, and that's essentially all that the undead is, and that's how the ghosts connect into it as well. Um, ghosts. There's some cultures that tie zombies and ghosts very closely together, and hopefully, I can find some info on that. Before we get too deep into this, but there was an argument that ghosts are dead, and that they shouldn't be included in this talk. But the ghosts themselves are undead, so that's why they're included.
Well, I would think even if you were, a, if you kill a vampire, does he have a ghost?
Well, it
I mean,
depends
that
if it's
seems
a
like a
good
valid question.
if it's a good death or a bad death. That's how the ghosts can be created by if they had a bad death. So
Right, but we're sort of limiting the definition of ghost. I mean, everybody here has seen Interstellar, right? So,
well,
ghost could be a fourth dimensional being.
Yeah, we're limiting it to just undead ghosts.
Oh.
Yes.
Well, it seems how we're talking about ghosts first. We'll talk about the history of ghost stories. That seems like you guys wanted to talk about that first. So I'll give you guys a link to this. This is from the History Channel. That way, if you want to read it, the whole thing, because we're definitely not going to go through this whole thing, but we'll read part of it. What is a ghost? The concept of a ghost, also known as a specter, is based on the ancient idea that a person's spirit exists separately from his or her body and may continue to exist after that person dies. Because of this idea, many societies began to use funeral rites as a way to ensure that the dead person's spirit would not return to haunt the living. Places that are haunted are usually believed to be associated with some occurrence or emotion in the ghost's past. They are often a former home or the place where he or she died. Aside from actually ghostly apparitions, traditional signs of haunting range from strange noises, lights, odors, or breezes to the displacement of objects. Bells that ring spontaneously, or musical instruments that seem to play on their own. I heard my acoustic guitar the other day, and I was in the living room in the recliner.
Sure it wasn't Ollie?
I'm not sure it wasn't Ollie. I don't know where Ollie was, but
the ghost of Ollie.
Well,
I guess.
The first century AD, early ghost sightings in the first century AD, a great Roman author and statesman Pliny Pliny the Young, I like that, recorded one of the first notable ghost stories in his letters, which became famous for their vivid account of life during the heyday of the Roman Empire. Pliny reported that the specter of an old man with a long beard rattling chains was haunting his house in Athens. The Greek writer Lucian and Pliny's fellow Roman Palladius also wrote memorable ghost stories. Centuries later, in AD 856, the first poltergeist, a ghost that causes physical disturbance such as loud noises or objects falling or being thrown around, was reported at a farmhouse in Germany. The poltergeist tormented the family living there by throwing stones and starting fires, among other things.
Yeah, I was going to say what you mentioned previously about the funerals, and that the the early reasons for actual funerals and burying people underground and things of that nature, it was because of the worry that either the body itself would reanimate and come back as a zombie, or that a ghost would come from the body. And so a lot of cultures would bury the bodies with rocks on top of them, or like rocks in their mouth and things of that nature, to prevent them from reanimating or from the ghost escaping. And there is a difference between ghosts and spirits. So evidently ghosts, they don't realize that they're ghosts. Spirits realize that they're spirits, and ghosts are trapped, whereas spirits are able to move around. There are two separate things.
Well, I know they always try to keep them out of bars all the time because they always have too much booze.
I got this from Wikipedia. Now, I know a lot of Wikipedia can be made up because anybody can put anything in Wikipedia, but a lot of these Wikipedia sites have a lot of good knowledge. So I want to read just a little bit of this one. Let me blow it up here a little bit. See, it says, in folklore, a ghost is the soul or spirit of a dead person or non-human animal that is believed to be able to appear to the living. In ghost lore, descriptions of ghosts vary widely, from an invisible presence to translucent or barely visible wispy shapes to realistic lifelike forms. The deliberate attempt to contact the spirit of the deceased person is known as necromancy, or in spiritism as a seance. Other terms associated with it are apparition, haunt, phantom, poltergeist, shade, specter, spirit, spook, wraith, demon, and ghoul. The belief in the existence of an afterlife, as well as manifestations of the spirits of the dead, is widespread, dating back to animism or ancestor worship in pre-literature cultures. Certain religious practices, funeral rites, exorcisms, and some practices of spiritualism and ritual magic are specifically designed to rest the spirits of the dead. Ghosts are generally described as solitary human-like essences, though stories of ghostly armies and the ghosts of animals other than humans have also been recounted. They are believed to haunt particular locations, objects, or people they were associated with in life. According to a 2009 study by the Pew Research Center, 18% of Americans say they have seen a ghost. That's pretty interesting. 18%. Now, I personally have never actually seen a ghost, but there was a time I was 14 years old. My sister-in-law worked at this old bakery that was built right next to one of the old high schools here in the city, and we'd go pick her up there when she got off her shift, and then I would help her sometimes take the trays to the back and take shit upstairs. One time she sent me upstairs by myself, and I got up there, and I felt fine, but as soon as I got to the top of the stairs, I just felt this real heavy weight was on me. And I got really hot, and it just felt like the walls were closing in, and I just felt something there. I didn't see anything. It was just more of a feeling. But I felt that it was a bad feeling. I didn't like the way it felt. It was just like a bad energy, almost like pushing two magnets together. That's kind of how it felt. As soon as I got to the top of the stairs, that's kind of how it felt, like something was pushing me back. And I went downstairs, and I never went back to that place again. And they ended up tearing the place down. But I think that's been my only
We have one up at our warehouse, man, and it was really crazy. We got the warehouse pretty cheap, and we moved into the warehouse. And in the women's bathroom, there was a outline on the floor of a body, and And we didn't ask any questions or anything, but the bathroom just always smelled like sulfur, no matter how much we cleaned it and cleaned it and cleaned it. And we have stuff up on the shelves all the time, and stuff would fly off the shelves. And we tried to be so down to earth about it, because some of the stuff that was flying off the shelves was Legos, and we were like, okay, maybe the cold to hot temperatures making the Legos shift in the box. The Legos are going to the edge of the box and they're falling off the shelf. But it kept happening so much more and more and more, to now we're like, everybody at the company's like, oh, it's the ghost. And I've just found, like, with we just started ignoring it, because it seemed like it wanted to be seen and heard all the time. And one time Sunshine even came up to the warehouse and was like, okay, ha 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 ha, let's hear what this thing is. And it was just me and her in the whole building. And she was like, Ghost, if you're really here, do something right now. And about that time you hear loud on the wall. And she starts running around, and she's like, there's other people in the building. You did that. Y'all did that. And when she started going looking in the other rooms for someone in the building, there was nobody there. And you just get we just got so numb to it. But we're moving now, so it's all groovy. My boss says we're going to take it with us, and I'm fuck you. But I think anybody that's been in, like, around ghost a lot, or something that's haunted, or something's just not right, or maybe dimensional, after a while you just get numb to it. You just like, yeah. I've never had one, like, do anything bad or anything. It seems like most of the time I've been around anything like that, just wants to be seen. And I'm not sure it's a ghost or whatever it is, but whatever it is, it just wants to be seen. And someone did die in the building, so.
Yeah, I was going to say there's this theater here where I live, and it's been said for years that it was haunted by a certain ghost, and we had basically a ghost hunter. They came in and we did the tour with them, and they did this little experiment where we sat with this little ball in our hand, and we asked them to move the ball, and like your hand would get really, really hot, and then slowly the ball would start to spin. And I saw this for a ball in my own hand was actually spinning, and there was, just a normal regular ball. There was no trick to it. So definitely, I've never seen ghosts, but I've had that experience. And we did take photos, and I was looking through my phone to see if we had any of the photos. You could see these like images that did kind of look like they were faces in the photos that we took, because we went through the place, in pitch dark. I went to another haunted theater this was when I was living in Vegas. Didn't see anything, didn't have any sort of experience or anything. But no, I definitely believe in the existence of ghosts. And again, ghosts are separate from spirits, where ghosts are more trapped to a certain location. It's usually because of the thinking is that it's a bad or an evil death, as opposed to natural causes, and that they're connected to that location and their energy is connected there.
So. Yeah, it's like it said here, like all of these different, like apparition, a haunt, a phantom, a poltergeist, shade, a specter, they're all like different types of ghosts.
Right.
Right, and they all, I'm sure, do haunt or act differently in their own ways.
Right.
The overwhelming consensus of science is that there is no proof that ghosts exist. Their existence is impossible to falsify, and ghost hunting has been classified as pseudoscience. Despite centuries of investigation, there is no scientific evidence that any location is inhabited by the spirits of the dead. Historically, certain toxic and psychoactive plants whose use has long been associated with necromancy and the underworld have been shown to contain anticholinergic compounds that are pharmacology. Why they got off all these big words, man? Linked to dementia, as well as patterns of whatever. Recent researchers have indicated that ghost sightings may be related to degenerative brain disease, such as Alzheimer's disease. Common prescription medications and over-the-counter drugs, such as sleep aids, may also, in rare instances, cause ghost-like hallucinations. Particularly, I think I've taken that diphenhydramine. I don't remember what.
It's Benadryl.
Is that what it is? Benadryl,
Yep.
Yeah.
And Zolpidem is, hell, I just had it, lost it.
Ambien.
Ambien, yeah. That's nasty stuff.
Older reports linked carbon monoxide poisoning to ghost-like hallucinations. All right.
Wait, I'm writing this down.
And I had this Wikipedia. I just looked up undead on there, and it goes through all the different types of undead: mummies, vampires, zombies, ghosts, and then there's a list here of the physical types and then the spiritual types, and all sorts of stuff on here. Some of these I've never even heard of, like a Striga. It's a demon. And a Wadergonker is a type of zombie. So, but yeah, no, all the different types of the undead. Generally when people think the term undead, they just think of zombies and they think of specific type of zombies. They think of the basically the George Romero zombies that now, The Walking Dead and all of that. But undead, there's so many different types of creatures, I guess, that would be under that umbrella.
Have you ever seen that movie where I think it's in South America or something, where they were actually like almost killing people, but they were putting them in a trance and they were burying them?
You're talking about the Wes Craven movie, the
Serpent in the Rainbow.
Yeah, that's it. Yep.
And that's pufferfish toxin.
Yes.
Hey, I got some fish.
Yeah, so the basically part of the the voodoo religion, certain crimes, your punishment was you were made into a zombie, and basically they thought that they were actually killing the people, but what was happening is that they were behaving as if they were dead, but they were kind of, I guess, in this kind of coma. They would bury them, and then there was like this cult of people that they would take the zombies and put them like into slavery. Essentially, they would go dig them up and then go put them to work in like their farm or wherever. So yeah, that and trying to think of where that is exactly. But yeah, that investigation that Serpent in the Rainbow is based off of. The movie's not 100% accurate, but it is based off of a real person and his real research. Very, very interesting.
I got this buddy named Son of Snake that told me that zombies do not like nachos. I just thought I'd throw that out there.
I'll give you guys a link to this as well. This is also from the History Channel. It says the zombie, often portrayed as an undead, flesh-eating, decaying corpse, has enjoyed a popularity surge in recent years. Whether they're devouring their prey in The Walking Dead or getting their groove on in a Michael Jackson Thriller video, zombies dominate pop culture. But are zombies real? Unlike many other monsters, which are mostly a product of superstition, religion, and fear, zombies have a basis in fact. Several verified cases of zombies have been reported from Haitian voodoo culture.
That's it.
Oh, let's see. Let's check out some zombie traits. A zombie, according to pop culture and folklore, is usually either reawakened corpse with a ravenous appetite or someone bitten by another zombie infected with a zombie virus. Zombies are usually portrayed as strong but robotic beings with rotting flesh. Their only mission is to feed. They typically don't have conversations, although some may grunt a little.
Sounds like me in the morning.
My favorite zombie that everybody always kind of overlooks, but Frankenstein's monster.
He's the OG of zombies.
Yes, exactly.
He's like the OG zombie OG.
So I guess you're saying they really hate zombies.
The ancient Greeks may have been the first civilization terrorized by a fear of the undead. Archaeologists have unearthed many ancient graves which contain skeletons pinned down by rocks and other heavy objects, assumedly to prevent the dead bodies from reanimating. Zombie folklore has been around for centuries in Haiti, possibly originating in the 17th century when West African slaves were brought in to work on Haiti's sugarcane plantations. Brutal conditions left the slaves longing for freedom. According to some reports, the life, or rather afterlife, of the zombie represented the horrific plight of slavery. Whoa. I want to read this one. Real zombies reported in medical journals. Though it's rare, there are several credible reports in medical journals of people using these compounds to induce paralysis in people, then revive them from the grave. In 1997 article in the British medical journal, The Lancet, described 3 variable accounts of zombies. In one case, a Haitian woman who appeared to be dead was buried in a family tomb only to reappear 3 years later. An investigation revealed that her tomb was filled with stones and her parents agreed to admit her to the local hospital. In another well-documented case, a Haitian man named Clairvius Narcisse entered a local hospital with severe respiratory problems in 1962. After he slipped into a coma, Narcisse was declared dead and was buried shortly thereafter. But 18 years later, a man walked up to Angelina Narcisse in a village marketplace, insisting she was his sister. Doctors, townspeople, and family members all identified him as Clairvius Narcisse, who claimed he had been buried alive and dug up and put to work on a distant sugar plantation. That's fucked up.
Yeah, sure.
Voodoo is a religion based in West Africa and practiced throughout Haiti and the Caribbean, Brazil, and American South, and other places with an African heritage. Many people who follow the voodoo religion today believe zombies are myths, but some believe zombies are people revived by a voodoo practitioner known as a bokor. Bokor? I think that's pronounced correctly. Bokors have a tradition of using herbs, shells, fish, animal parts, bones, and other objects to create concoctions, including zombie powders, which contain tetrodotoxin, a deadly neurotoxin found in pufferfish and some other marine species. Used carefully at sublethal doses, the tetrodotoxin combination may cause zombie-like symptoms such as difficulty walking, mental confusion, and respiratory problems. High doses can lead to paralysis and coma. This could cause someone to appear dead or be buried alive and later revived. And I actually just seen a documentary about people in Haiti, and there is actually a dust that they use, and people have been getting robbed and kidnapped there because, you know, they go and they find these beautiful Haitian women and they have this powder in their hand and they blow it in their face, and then the guy don't remember nothing. He wakes up the next day in a hotel room and all of his shit's gone, you know.
That sounds something like the professor would get into.
Yeah, I think they call that dragon dust or something.
How exactly did he get with Taylor Swift again?
Hopefully he'll call in tonight. And,
Tetrodotoxin.
That'd be really shitty on like a windy day, though. You'd just be like, ah, you know.
Random buys get it in their face.
Everybody just like, what the hell? Party time.
We already know the answer about the zombies in the Bible. Yes. I mean, we said Frankenstein's the OG, but there's one that goes back further.
This is true. The modern-day carnivorous zombie isn't in the Bible, but there are many references to bodies being reanimated or re-resurrected, which may have inspired zombie myths throughout history. The book of Ezekiel describes a vision where Ezekiel is dropped in a boneyard and prophesies to the bones. The bones start to shake and become covered with muscle and flesh until they're reanimated, yet there was no breath in them. And the book of Isaiah states, "The dead men shall live. Together with my dead body shall they rise. Awake and sing, ye that dwell in dust, for thy dew is as the dew of herbs, and the earth shall cast out the dead." Moreover, passages abound in both the Old and New Testaments about the resurrection of saints and sinners in the end times. This may be one reason so many zombie stories are associated with the apocalypse. Well, I do often say zombie Jesus. I've said it more than once. And I thought that would be an awesome name for a punk band.
Oh, yeah, for sure. That's got to be a band. Let's see.
Yeah, you go looking for band names. Try that sometime. You can come up with something totally off the wall, and there's like 3 of them. There's another pole vault, matter of fact.
Yes, there is Zombie Jesus and the Chocolate Sunshine Band, and they are on Bandcamp. I will be listening to them later, checking them out.
Wow.
Okay, I wanted to check this out. Oh, wait, hold on. Let me open up this link on this page here. I already learned my lesson there. Oh, that site can't be reached. I wanted to check out what some of these things were, but the site's already been closed down. So, they won't let us. We're not able to find out how to make a zombie.
Is there any connection to Taylor Swift here?
Here we go.
I'm sure there is. Now, here's a very interesting question. If you die and become reanimated as a zombie, you could also have your ghost or your spirit out there at the same time. So basically, you could be split. You could be split into 2, essentially.
Yeah, your body could be a zombie, but your ghost could still be out haunting.
Right.
Isn't
not necessarily haunting. I wouldn't necessarily say all ghosts haunt people.
Would the vampire?
Well, I think ghosts haunt. Spirits don't. Spirits are spirits know that they're spirits.
Maybe
ghosts
free.
are kind of stuck in a loop, essentially, kind of in a location, kind of trapped.
They're chained to whatever they're.
Yeah.
They're chained to or whatever. Yeah. All right, this one comes from livescience.com. And how to make a zombie. Seriously. The slouching, flesh-eating zombies has become one of the most en vogue creatures in current TV and movie, offering appearance in films like World War Z and in the AMC series The Walking Dead. Most rational people scoff at the suggestion that zombies are real, but a number of respected medical experts and academic journals have presented evidence that zombies are in fact real. To understand the zombie phenomenon, it is Haitian roots, an appreciation of the practice of voodoo, sometimes spelled voodoo or voodoo, is needed. A religion based in West Africa, voodoo is still practiced in varying forms throughout the Caribbean, Brazil, and American South, and other places with a strong African heritage. Several animals contain there's that word again, tetrodotoxin in their tissues. The liver, eyes, and ovaries of the pufferfish have especially high amounts of the lethal nerve toxin. Though regarded as a delicacy in Japan, the fish and some of its organs, especially the liver, are banned as food items in many places because of the dangers. In small amounts, tetrodotoxin causes numbness, tingling, and a not unpleasant sensation of floating, even euphoria, according to reports from brave gourmands who have sampled carefully prepared pufferfish. High levels of the toxin, however, can cause death within minutes due to respiratory failure. But at sublethal doses of toxin can leave a victim in a state of suspended animation. Breathing is subdued and barely perceivable by observers. The heart rate is near zero, but the person remains conscious and aware, though unable to speak. That fucking just seems scary to me.
Steve-O brought up a good point about Jeffrey Dahmer. Yes, Dahmer was doing his own experiments, and he would drill holes in the back of guys' heads and pour acid in it and trying to create zombies. Didn't work out, but you know.
Yeah, didn't he want he wanted sex slaves, basically.
Yeah, essentially, yeah. Well, our Mr. Vampire is not here tonight. Development of a void, but
I'm over here talking on mute. That's really cool. I said something really witty and cool. You know,
oh yeah, what was it?
Isn't vampires technically zombies?
Well, no, because vampires still have their mind.
Oh yeah,
you know what I mean. They're still like conscious.
So zombies have to be stupid.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Like that.
This is the way I look at it. Zombies, whether you're talking Frankenstein or if you're talking, whatever, they're basically a baby. And I have a theory that they can learn as long as their body is held together long enough for them to actually learn. Honestly, zombies shouldn't be able to walk right off the bat because, again, everything should be reset and they should be completely having to learn to walk. But it makes sense that their one instinct is to feed, and that's basically how the zombie operates.
They could get a hookup out there to East Lansing right now, I think. Probably.
But yeah, they're not bright at all, and their brains don't really function though. That's the thing, and it's just a theory that they would actually be able to learn if they were able to stay alive. But
and here's another thing: do vampires have to be dead? Because I think one of the original ones that we think of is Elizabeth Bathory, and she was just a human drinking blood, a lot of it. But are you familiar with her?
Yeah, I've seen a couple of biographies about her, how she, like, thousands of women she would
fill her bathtubs up with their blood.
Right.
So was she a vampire or is she just a nutcase?
That's the thing. Cannibals and nutcases. Yeah.
Now, she was a nutcase because, from what I understand, vampires need blood to survive.
Okay. She was just trying to stay young.
Yeah.
And if you guys out there don't believe zombies don't exist, here's a couple of them for you right here. This is a live street view of Kensington Street in Philadelphia And this is actually empty right here. They cleaned it out today, but there's some zombies, real life zombies that you can see right there. And if you watch this long enough, I'll even give you guys a link to this live cam. This place is horrible in the daytime. There's 100 people out here all shooting up. And this is where real zombieism is happening. Now they have this new drug called Trank. And it's bad. It's bad news.
Earlier, I thought I seen someone out there mixing peanut butter and jelly in a bowl. Freaking really out there.
I told you zombies can learn. See, so that was a good zombie.
But that's a live cam of Kensington Avenue in Philadelphia. As you can see across the street where that white car is, if you can see it, all of that's all like tents and homeless people. And if you see this place in the daytime, there's just 100 fucking people standing around shooting up dope, selling dope, fighting each other. It's fucking crazy.
Welcome to America.
Right? I'm just saying, I got the solution to the whole problem with the world right now. Now, hear me out. Now, I'm not trying to remove anybody from their homes, but this is my idea. So everybody's fighting over Gaza right now, right? So you move them people, you flatten out Gaza, you build a mega Costco. Okay? Hear me out. It's a mega Costco the size of Gaza. That will just complete the idiocracy revelation that was told.
Nice.
We
I
have
appreciate
the mega
that.
Costco. It's already there. It's, the revelation will be complete. We can all bait in peace. And the world can be a happier place.
Still have to have a membership.
And, that's just an idea, though. Why don't we start using Brondo on our plants?
Well, you'd have to ask Bill Gates permission because he owns 72% of farmland in the United States.
I'm sure he'd be okay with it. Maybe not.
Hey, so this article I just found here, this kind of answers your question there, Paul Vault, because this is talking about how vampires, basically poltergeist vampires. So the concept of the vampire is an undead creature inflicting harm originated in Eastern Europe, specifically in Bulgaria 1,000 years ago. But the Slavic vampires were non-corporeal, lacking a physical body, having more in common with the poltergeist. The vampire wrought havoc, often as a spreader of disease in a village, but the vampire did not create other vampires with its bite, and it didn't consume blood. The early vampire was no suave creature in evening dress. It was a ghost-like being that operated in the same arenas as destructive rats. The vampire entered Western history, leaving its seclusion fairly late. War is to blame for spreading the belief. In 1686, 6 years prior to the Salem witch trials, the German-speaking peoples of the Holy Roman Empire gained control of Hungary and thereby took control of a Slavic population. Imperial troops learned the vampire legend from Slavic peasants during the occupation. Soldiers carried the idea to cosmopolitan centers like Vienna and Berlin. From there, the vampire moved to Paris, from Paris to London, from London to the Americas. The word vampire first appeared in English in 1732, the same year George Washington was born. Traveling east to west, the vampire legend took on new features rather than a ghost. For example, the vampire became a risen corpse, full-bodied. Most notably, the vampire assumed the need to consume blood. This addition to the legend was an 18th century Western idea. Believe it or not, blood drinking added a scientific element to the vampire belief. To the people of the time, blood consumption made the vampire more believable, more corporeal than incorporeal, more scientific than supernatural. Westerners were moving past the age of superstition. Witchcraft was decriminalized in Britain and its colonies in 1735. So, intellectuals of the time, when confronted with vampiric testimonies, conceived vampirism as a disease rather than supernatural occurrence. It's fascinating that intellectuals didn't dismiss the legend entirely. Rather, intellectuals sought to explain the phenomenon in terms of science. So basically, has gone from, not having a body and not drinking blood into, the creature that it has, today that we know it as.
You mean they don't sparkle in the sun?
That was added way later. Yeah. So.
Well, that there's certain. I didn't know there was really certain genres of vampire, but I guess there's Nosferatu. It would be different from a regular like Bram Stoker's vampire, right?
Right. For sure.
Or a Brad Pitt.
So there's the common types of vampires. The blood drinkers. Here's an article. Actually.
And Hellraisers.
Let's see.
They used to think people with red hair were vampires. I don't know if you've ever heard that. Looking at Pokey.
Oh no, what do you think, Lady Tanya?
So here are the different types. Blood drinkers.
Blood drinkers pretty self-explanatory.
Yeah, the empathic vampire, also closely related to the elemental vampire, does not feed on human blood to sustain life. Can feed on emotions and feelings. Wait, that's the only two there is. Well, okay, never mind.
Chad, could you give us your expert opinion on vampires, seeing how you're probably an energy vampire?
Dude, seriously.
Daywalker.
Daywalker and energy vampire, two different things, brah. That's not nice to accuse somebody of being that. I've known energy vampires. They're nasty.
There have been some in the indie music community. I don't think I'm in that category, but thank you.
No, you hang out with an energy vampire, you will leave that environment drained. Just like you ran a marathon drained. They suck the energy right out of you. It's incredible.
Have you seen that show, What Happens After Dark or something? It's a funny vampire show.
I've tried watching it. It just wasn't all that funny. So
I kind of liked it.
Hey, it had sort of that British humor to it, and I'm just not a big fan of the dry humor.
I think we should take a music break here real quick.
Cool.
I want to play this one by Synthworks. As some of you know, he lost his dog last week. And if anybody has a pet, and it's a pet that he'd had for 14 years, and anybody knows that if you got a pet, I mean, they're part of the family.
Yep.
My dog's going to be 9, so I'm going to regret that day. But he got a new puppy, Mew Mew, and cute little shit, too. So I wanted to play this from Synthworks. Oops. And mostly, it'll kind of give us a minute to take a break and reset. and then we'll come back for the last hour and we'll talk about vampires because I have a couple of articles myself. I really dug this one. I heard this one the other day, or I guess it's been a couple of weeks, from Synthworks. It's titled Turning Away, and I just dig the video that he has with it, man. It's an amazing video. So we're going to take a quick break. We're going to watch this video from Synthworks, and then we'll come back and we'll discuss more vampire stuff.
Turning away from the pale and downtrodden, and the words they say which we won't understand. Don't accept that what's happening is just a case of all the suffering. Oh, you'll find that you're joining in and turning away. It's a sin that's allowed.
was cool.
Yeah, really good.
Yeah, that was chill.
I feel better. It gave me a chance to go to the bathroom as well. Alrighty. I gotta say, History.com really came through on the articles this fucking week for the 3 topics that we've discussed has been amazing.
They have documentaries on these topics. They do some really cool stuff. I dig all the different topics that it does jump into.
It says, what is a vampire? There are almost as many different characteristics of vampires as there are vampire legends. But the main characteristic of vampires, or vampires, is they drink human blood. They typically drain their victims' blood using their sharp fangs, killing them and turning them into vampires. In general, vampires hunt at night since sunlight weakens their powers. Some may have the ability to morph into a bat or a wolf. Vampires have super strength and often have a hypnotic, sensual effect on their victims. They can't see their image in a mirror and cast no shadows. There's supposedly a famous one from history, right? Vlad the Impaler. I'm sure everybody knows that story. He was pretty brutal. And, you know, back in, 1456 to 1462, in them times, how you kept your enemies at bay is the people that you captured, you hung them up, you fucking put their head on a pole and fucking put them around your castle, you know? Like, don't come here.
Well, in his country, he's still held as a hero. I've actually been over there, and they don't really see, they don't see him as a bad guy over there.
Well, Povall does that with fairies outside his house. He has a sign that says, you must wear boots or this will happen to you.
I'm telling on you, man.
It's thought that Bram Stoker named Count Dracula after Vlad Dracul. Also known as Vlad the Impaler, Vlad Dracul was born in Transylvania, Romania. He ruled Wallachia, Romania, off and on from 1456 to 1462. Some historians described him as a just yet brutal, cruel ruler who valiantly fought off the Ottoman Empire. He earned his nickname because his favorite way to kill his enemies was to impale them on a wooden stake. According to legend, Vlad Dracul enjoyed dining amidst his dying victims and dipping his bread in their blood. Whether those gory tales are true is unknown. Many people believe these stories sparked Stoker's imagination to create Count Dracula, who was also from Transylvania, sucked his victim's blood, and could be killed by driving a stake through his heart. But according to Dracula expert Elizabeth Miller, Stoker didn't base Count Dracula's life on Vlad Dracul. Nonetheless, the similarities between the two are intriguing.
Yeah, man. I don't know, man. I think that Christopher is the best vampire dude. What was that guy's name there, Chad? Christopher?
Robert Pattinson?
No, Christopher, the old one. Dude, no.
The best was Bella. Come on now.
Well, yeah, I mean, I like the other one, the other one.
Christopher Lee.
Yeah, I liked him. He was really creepy, dude.
Yeah.
Well, you guys thought Vlad Dracul was bad. What about Mercy Brown? Mercy Brown may rival Count Dracula as the most notorious vampire. Unlike Count Dracula, however, Mercy was a real person. She lived in Exeter, Rhode Island, and was the daughter of George Brown, a farmer. After George lost many family members, including Mercy, in the late 1800s to tuberculosis, his community used Mercy as a scapegoat to explain their deaths. It was common at the time to blame several deaths in one family to the undead. The bodies of each dead family members were often exhumed and searched for signs of vampirism. When Mercy's body was exhumed, they didn't display And when Mercy's body was exhumed and didn't display severe decay, not surprising since her body was placed in an open ground vault during the New England winter, the townspeople accused her of being a vampire and making her family sick from her icy grave. They cut out her heart, burned it, then fed the ashes to her sick brother. Perhaps not surprisingly, he died shortly after.
I heard her dad's name was Downtown.
Downtown Brown. He didn't suck blood though, and
Yeah,
he was
no, he's a
addicted to
cool dude.
crack. So you just
Yeah.
2 plus 2.
I like Downtown. Yeah, man, I heard about that. And there it was.
Let me do some research. Let me see if I can actually find anything to tie Taylor Swift to our topic tonight.
Real vampires. Although modern science has silenced the vampire fears of the past, people who call themselves vampires do exist. They're normal-seeming people who drink small amounts of blood in a perhaps misguided effort to stay healthy. Communities of self-identified vampires can be found on the internet and in cities and towns around the world. To avoid rekindling vampire superstitions, most modern vampires keep to themselves and typically conduct their feeding rituals, which include drinking the blood of willing donors in private. Some vampires don't ingest human blood, but to claim to feed off the energy of others. Many state that if they don't feed regularly, they become agitated and depressed. Vampires became mainstream after Dracula was published. Since then, Count Dracula's legendary persona has been the topic of many films, books, and television shows. Given the fascination people have with all things horror, vampires, real or imagined, are likely to continue to inhabit the earth for years to come. Interesting.
So they are acknowledging the energy vampire. But I always tripped out. Like, you ever see the ones where they put the grains of sand in the coffin, and the vampire's like, oh no, I have to count the grains of sand before I can like go to sleep or whatever. That always tripped me out. And there's one where I've seen so many, man. I was always lit. There's one where they can't cross running water. You ever seen that?
Yeah, I've heard that one.
But at the same time, most of them always have, the other ones have, the vampire coming across in a ship across the ocean. I mean, damn.
Vampire in Brooklyn, classic. Of course, the Bela Lugosi Dracula.
That's the Dracula that I remember the most, was the Bela Lugosi Dracula, and that's probably, late Saturday nights with my 2 older brothers during the, whatever the monster movie marathons were back in the day.
Right.
Yeah. I used to watch one that was hosted by the guy that was with Michael Jackson on Thriller. Man, I'm really out of it.
John Landis.
No, God damn it.
Vincent Price.
Yes.
Vincent Price was a good vampire.
They both were involved with Thriller. Come on now.
Yeah, but I mean,
Yeah.
it's amazing how back then that was scary, and I watched what was scary back then, and I get more scared by the evening news now than watching the news. So,
Ain't that the truth, brother?
yeah. I mean, what we used to think was scary is like laughable now.
By the way, I took this quiz just so you know, Paul Vault. Are you a ghost, skeleton, vampire, or zombie? What did I get? I'll share this so other people can find out what they are. I got that I am a skeleton. You're a skeleton. You're a bit of a daredevil and love to just go wild. You've been through so much in your life, and it all made you stronger. People look up to you because you're a warrior. So
Hell yeah.
I kind of filled that out like I fill out other surveys. One time they were asking me like if I had a alcohol problem, and I sat there and went through everything I was going through at the time. I was like, they were like, "Do your hands shake?" And my hands were shaking. I'm like, "No." So that's probably what was
Yeah,
it a multiple choice test?
Yes, it's multiple choice. Yes.
Nosferatu freaked me out too.
Yeah, no, that one did freak me out. That one did freak me out. Something about the black and white shows really freaks me out sometimes.
Salem's Lot.
Oh yeah, that was a badass one. Now that one did scare the shit out of me when I was young. That one, Carrie really didn't scare me till the very end, but when that end shot scared the living shit out of me when I was a kid. But yeah, Salem's Lot, I think you're right there, DJ. I think that is probably one of the most scariest vampire movies I've ever seen.
It was shot really well. The cinematography was done really well.
The kid knocking on the window, just creeps me
out. I just about pissed myself. There you go.
Yeah. Let me in.
Oh, there you go. Somebody brought up Lost Boys. That was a big one. I saw somebody mention Anne Rice.
There was one where the whole town was vampires, and they brought in a reporter, and they didn't kill him or turn him into a vampire. They just wanted him to write the story of the town, and that one was a freaky one. I don't know the name of it, but it was.
I want to say was that a Twilight Zone?
It might have been. It was. I used to also like that as what was the other one? Night Gallery.
Yeah. And you watch so much of the stuff, or you read so much of it, and it starts bleeding together.
I mean, I hadn't sat down and watched. I don't think I've watched a movie in a long, long time. I probably should sit down and watch a movie one of these days.
From Dusk to Dawn is one of my favorite vampire movies.
That's got some good one-liners in it.
Didn't that have like Cheech in it or something?
Yeah, he was in multiple.
George Clooney.
Roles. Yeah, George Clooney and Cheech. Who would freaking, besides Quentin Tarantino, put those two together? That was crazy.
All right, so
I think the best zombie movie, or one of my favorite zombie movies, was the 28 Days Later. That was one of the first times you've seen the zombies run. That kind of freaked me out.
Right.
That was a pretty good show.
The original 9/11 Dead was one of the first horror movies I'd ever seen, and that scared the crap out of me.
We've got that queued up for Halloween. We're gonna use that as a Halloween movie.
So here's the zombie Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
And here is the ghost Taylor Swift. So
I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you, she is the leader of the Illuminati.
So since you mentioned that, Chad, I figured I'd whip this out. You see what that is?
Oh, cool. Night of the Living Dead.
That's a movie poster.
It is one of the original movie posters from Night of the Living Dead.
Nice.
That's cool.
That movie broke so much ground in so many different ways.
Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta say that skull looks really good right there as well.
The other thing is that movie is really what changed the zombies from the voodoo zombies, because prior to that, like any of the zombie movies, like the Bela Lugosi was in a ton of them. They were all the voodoo trance zombies, and then all of a sudden he took it into, actual reanimated corpses, and it's just so brilliant that, like, how did that not exist before then? And then for that to have like been a thing that didn't like catch on into the mainstream until more recent in years. Of course, he did multiple Dead movies, and there were other zombie movies, but it wasn't until it was before The Walking Dead that it kind of exploded, but then completely just mainstream that way. But I think it's a sign of the consciousness of our country and what things we're going to
Yeah.
or what we're going through as and horror movies are always good about capturing that in a different way than it actually the reality of it is, but kind of still at the same time
Very
mimicking
symbolic.
it. Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Well, if you guys were ever curious and wanted to see what a real vampire bar looked like, I'll give you guys a link to this. If you're in the New Orleans area, you can hit this place up, go hang out with some real vampires.
I've been in them. I've been in them.
This one's titled The Dungeon.
Yep.
It's a New Orleans secret vampire bar.
Yeah. There used to be one here in Dallas.
Do
But
tell, bro.
Well, it was the only place that metal bands could play. It was, it was getting, and if you wanted to see a good metal band, you went to the place called the Vampire Lounge.
Right.
And I wouldn't call it goth, but because they were all into metal, but at the same time, it was this like vampire scene. I guess it was in like 95, 96. It was a cool thing at the time. I think it was being pushed by the Anne Rice movies and stuff coming out.
I actually still like watching them shows on occasion, Silver Girl. Like Father Knows Best, Leave It to Beaver sometimes if I'm really fucking high after a show and I need to wind down, I'll just go kick it in the recliner and put on the classic channel and watch old Leave It to Beaver or Andy Griffith or some shit like that.
But the thing is that you still got to remember there was the monsters, there was the Addams Family.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, it wasn't scary, but it was kooky.
We
and
watched
fun.
that.
And,
we watched that so much.
Yeah, I love to watch that stuff because the Addams Family. There's a channel on Pluto that you can just turn it on whenever, and it's episodes of that. But the monsters was always my favorite when I was a kid. And I used to have that on DVD. Still hoping to get it on Blu-ray, but it's not on Blu-ray yet.
It's so crazy. We used to fight like we would actually get in fist fights, me and my cousins, over who was better, the Monsters or the Addams Family.
Monsters, easy.
What?
Monsters. Chat. Listen, everybody in chat. Okay, number 1 for the Monsters, number 2 for Addams Family. Which one is the best? Number 1, Monsters. Number 2, Addams Family.
I have to go with the Monsters. Sorry.
Chad. Man, why do you do this to me, man?
This is a democracy. Everyone can vote.
Yeah. See,
although I liked both. I liked both.
What was the Addams Family?
2.
Chad.
Just put a 1. Just put a 1.
No, Chad.
Well, everybody's an Addams Family fan from what I see.
But I will tell you, in my old school days, my favorite show was Gilligan's Island. So,
you just like the hotties.
Yeah, no. See, everybody, and we would get in arguments over that. Me and my other cousins would get in fights over Ginger and Marianne.
Marianne all the way.
Yeah, right. Chad probably is Ginger. See.
No, I haven't seen that for so long, and don't care. But yeah,
no, Addams Family, because you know what, you wanted to be one of those kids.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that's true. I wanted to be kind of an Addams.
I wanted to be Herman too. I kind of am Herman.
I actually was going to get a guitar painted with Morticia and glow in the dark on black. I'm still trying to do that.
Now I gotta say, my first ever introduction to zombies. I was like 8 years old. and two of my older brothers went on double dates, and they had to take me with them, of course. And we wasn't supposed to see any bad movies, but they took us to see The Enemy Within or The Beast from Within and Dawn of the Dead. Now, I'd never seen zombies before. I know growing up at 8 years old, I knew what vampires and shit were. I didn't know what zombies were. But when we went there, and this must have been like, I guess, mid-70s or so, we got to the location. I thought it was going to be a regular movie, but all of these people were walking around like fucking zombies. Holy shit, I'd never been so fucking scared in my life. Because at 8 years old, I didn't know if they were real or not. I was fucking scared shitless. My brothers still tease me about that shit, probably. I don't mention it.
Whoops.
Oh. Whoa. That was cool.
Just glitched the Matrix, man.
I remember when Evil Dead came out, that one kind of freaking really kind of hit me. I was out in the middle of the country, and it's how long ago it's on VHS. And I was the only one in this old house, and I was like, yeah, what is this? Evil Dead, I'll watch this. About halfway through that movie, I had to turn that shit off. I was like, oh. I mean, this house would already go, and I'm in the middle of nowhere in this old house, man. I'm like, yeah, I'm not going to watch this movie here.
All right, Povall. So it looks like you may have won this time. I think Adam's family beat out the monsters. But
can we get that on recording?
We may have
We
to.
just did.
We may have to. We have to do a whole rockin' rabbit holes on old TV shows in the future.
That would be good, yeah. Just for fun. Yeah, Evil Dead was a good one.
Man, I'm getting
Bruce
hit on
Campbell's
both sides
funny.
by Chads. I got Chad wanting to go out the door. Right back.
And that's not to mention all the video games with zombies. There's tons of video games with zombies. I play one now, 7 Days to Die. I play it a lot. It's a fucking zombie game. It's after the apocalypse. I got to run around, feed myself, and fucking kill zombies for resources, you know?
I played Resident Evil 2 all the way through. So that's the first playthrough with one character and the second playthrough with the second character.
Now, Evil Dead's getting mentioned here. Now, Evil Dead is not zombies. Those are deadites. But they are definitely undead.
It turned out to be a dragon, right?
Where?
In Evil Dead, Army of Darkness, when he finally falls through the portal, it was a dragon that was causing all the, I'll eat your soul stuff.
I've never seen that, I don't think.
I didn't like the third one, so
I didn't, because it really like cheapened the other two.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it was supposed to.
I dig that actor though. Ash.
Deadites.
Yeah, Bruce Campbell.
Yeah, man. I may or may not have been high when I watched that.
He had a fucking chainsaw in his hand.
Yeah, that was.
All right, so we talked about ghosts. Now, DJ Nitro Blue, have you ever had any sort of encounters with the ghost or spirits or anything of that nature?
Oh yeah, I've had ghost encounters.
Care to share one of those stories?
Sure. I've shared this one a few times, but no, here we go. My last ship, the Higgins, was haunted because of a suicide that had occurred on board the ship. Now, for the longest time, the ghost was confined to the space that he had committed suicide in, which had been the forward IC gyro room. And there are a lot of different stories of your IC men, which are your interior communication specialists. Oh, they had one story after another of funky stuff that went on in the space. But after a while, he left the space and he actually started roaming the ship. And it was on the last deployment that standard watch in the Gulf, fully automated on remote gun mount that still required somebody to be in it because that's what the captain wanted. So I'm sitting in there behind the EP2. I'm studying for some sort of stupid test, some Navy test or something like that, and I keep dozing off. And at one point, I hear the door to the space open up. Now, this is no ordinary door. This is an armored door. So as it opens up, it's got a ratcheting mechanism that's there to keep the door from swinging shut and killing you in the event of heavy seas. So it makes a very specific noise. So I heard somebody open the door and I heard somebody close the door. Now, there's a ladder, there's a set of stairs in the space that separates the lower fan room from the actual upper gun deck where the controls are located at. And so normally somebody would come into the space, they would close the door, and they would come right up the ladder or the stairs. We call it the ladder on board the ship. And nobody did that. Okay, so I figured somebody diving down into the fan room, they're going to crawl down there and, grab a bale of rags and take a nap. That's not unheard of, with the watch schedule we were running. But I didn't hear anything. So I went back to my study and then, eventually started dozing off. I hear stairs start creaking because, again, it's a metal stairs on a ship. They make a very specific sound when they're walked upon. And that's what I heard. My eyes snap open. I look over at the ladder. Well, there's nothing there. All right. Okay. Whatever. It's just the ship's rocking back and forth. I'm just hearing stuff. So I was half asleep anyway. Whatever. Go back to what I was doing again. Doze off. I hear somebody walking around the gun mount on the inside where the loader drum's at. Again, it's on a deck that's elevated, so there's tiles that go across a hollow void that's walked on. It makes a particular sound. Eyes snap open, nobody there. Again, all right, now I'm starting to get really irritated. I've heard rumors of the ghost actually not being in IC Gyro anymore. All right, just rumors though, right? Nothing to worry about. Go back to what I was doing, start dozing off. I feel this hot breath in my face. My eyes snap open. There's nobody there. I'm screaming. I'm pissed off at this point. I scream at the son of a bitch. I'm like, quit fucking with me. Go fuck with the women, you ignorant piece of shit. You committed suicide. You're the motherfucker stuck here. Fuck you. Get out of my fucking space. And just the sense of something being in the space evaporated. And it was gone. I'm spun up and now I'm totally awake, right? So I can do some great studying now. But here's the kicker. This was the watch where I got off at basically 4 o'clock in the morning. I'd go back to my rack, hit it for about 2 hours, get up at 6 o'clock, go and eat breakfast. The mess decks were completely abuzz because evidently there was some crazy ass shit that started happening down in female berthing right after I told the fucker to go down there. Somebody down there beating on the racks, turning on the showers, flipping the lights on and off, the whole kit and caboodle of ghostly paranormal activities. After I told him to leave me alone. So that's my ghost story.
He just moved on.
Yep.
So what you're saying is that you counter a ghost, tell the ghost a better place to go haunt.
Yeah. That's what I did. And I think we covered that in one of the examples that I can't remember which entity it was, but basically once you're aware of them and you're like, oh, no, you don't have power over me anymore. That's basically what it becomes is they're like, well, I can't get any energy off of you from being afraid of me. So I'll go harass people that will be afraid of me.
No, that's like, hey, I don't have to outrun the bear. I just got to outrun you.
And there you go.
It seems that's what they always want is a reaction. And like I said, up at the warehouse where we're at now, I mean, something can fly off a shelf and like at least 10 people will be like, yeah, and like I said, and I actually yell at it now. I'm like, we're moving this week, and I'm like, we're moving, you motherfucker. We're moving. Goodbye.
What
You know,
what if it attaches itself to you?
well, and
And
that's what my boss is saying. But the thing is if it was going to do that, it wouldn't be there when I got there. It would probably attach itself to some of the people that just left.
My wife thinks we have a ghost attached to us. She don't know if it's from one of the antiques that she may have, but every apartment we've lived in, she's always like, "Yep, he's here again." I'm like, "Oh, okay." I never got any feeling in the house, but she does all the time. But she's a lot more spiritual than I am.
so I've got a question about zombies. All right, so zombie apocalypse happens. What's the go-to weapon? You had to have a weapon to defend yourself against the zombies. What's the
Now-
ideal choice?
Are you
Well, what-
talking about hand melee weapons or like guns?
Well, and see, they could come to a gun, like in The Walking Dead. If you use a gun, they hear it and they
Right.
come to you.
Yeah. See, so that's the thing. If you use a gun or if you use a chainsaw, something like that, that's going to make noise. And then also, those are things that they're not self-contained. You'll need more bullets. You'll need more gasoline or what have you. So,
Well, I play 7 Days to Die on a regular basis, and I fight zombies all the time with a plethora of tools. But my go-to weapons on that game, and it probably would be in real life, for melee, I pick just a big club with nails in it that's on fire. That way it's like a torch, and also I can beat shit with it. And then, of course, a shotgun. Zombies, man, you got to have a shotgun.
I knew Sunshine Archer was going there. There's a reason why she's called Sunshine Archer. There's a reason. She can shoot a bow.
Hello,
very,
Michael.
Very, very good. And
Well,
Ooh,
and
I know.
again, we have to be definitive. Are they walkers? Are they the ones, slow ones that just sort of lumber along and you can keep ahead of them? Or are they the invasion of Z's, whatever the hell the freaking
yeah,
sprinters that will run your ass down because every single zombie's a goddamn zombie, a freaking, an Olympic sprinter, right? So which one's which?
it's the army of dead zombies, the smart ones that can actually like ride horses and function and actually can come up with plans to take
You know what
us
I would
over.
go with? I would, to be honest, I'd say a flamethrower.
And
Right,
that's
but
what
again,
Cam said. That's what Cam said.
limited
Good.
resource. Because eventually you are going to run out of flammable material, and unless your ass is the alchemist and you've got the original Greek fire recipe figured out, you are going to be SOL.
I would probably
Yeah, you
go
would
with the
eventually.
gun.
That would be the downfall. You'd eventually run out of fuel.
Yeah.
I would probably go with the gun.
And even with that, you're going to run out of
Yeah,
bullets.
again, limited resource. So if you're up against the slow walkers, I think your best bet is
Melee
going to be a
with this.
Warhammer.
I'm not going to go too deep in that, but I'm not worried about that too much.
No, I love thinking about it because the Warhammer, because it's got the huge spike on the back, it makes it real easy to destroy the brain and therefore, knock the zombie down out of combat, right?
Yeah.
That's what
Yeah.
you're aiming for, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
I have
slow
a-
zombies definitely melee weapon.
And I have an old axe collection also that would probably come in handy. I've collected antique axes, and I'd go to garage sales and pick up, they'd be just rotten handles. I'd shine them all up. So I've got a whole wall full of these antique axes that you can see yourself in. So,
He's got them all polished up like the one from The Shining.
no, that you can actually see your face in them. I've made them mirrors shiny.
Chrome.
I'm gonna make a pole vault joke here. You know who else likes axes?
Oh, I do. Nacho.
Yes.
Damn it, Chad. Damn it. I
Now,
felt
ultimately-
I felt the disturbance in the universe on that one.
ultimately, if there was a zombie apocalypse, uh, I have family that has uh, property up in the mountains, so we would head up there. First thing that I would do is I'd trench all four sides of the property, nice big deep 10-foot deep trench, and then I'd start building spike fences to put on the other side of the fence. So if they got through the spike fences, they'd fall down into the pit.
Yeah, we went out to our farm today. I bought it before the Great Plague, and I bought it very, 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 very cheap. Like one piece of property I bought for $250.
Damn nice.
And it's on the lake. We went down there today, and like when everybody was having a lockdown, we went there and we were riding four-wheelers, and everybody's like, "Hey, this is supposed to be sucking, y'all." And we're like, it's like a vacation or something. But we went down there today. and we have like everything, generators and everything, to be totally off grid, and we didn't do it for any other reason than to go camping. But
I like Stokes' melee weapon, long bladed metal spear. Yeah, melee and defense. Yeah, like
No, Paul, that was a good investment. That was a really good investment.
I have not paid over $2,000 for any of the pieces of property, and I have 10 now.
Wow, nice.
It's not that way anymore.
We have a very, very special guest. The professor did make it here.
Excellent.
Hello, hello.
Hello, gentlemen.
Professor.
How is everyone?
Good.
We're doing good. Fantastic to see you.
Yeah, it's good to be seen. It's been an interesting couple weeks.
How's the employment going?
Well, Professor Brubaker is keeping me busy delivering pizzas. She calls me every second night, it seems like, and she's farming me out to some of the other faculty. The only good thing about that is it's 30 minutes or less, or it's free, so I don't have to be there that long. But yeah, Brubaker, I nicknamed her Ball Breaker. She's wearing me out.
I guess you're a slave to the grind now.
Well, yeah, you got to do what you got to do.
So basically, you've become a zombie. It sounds like.
Oh, this is why I came on tonight. I actually have some experience with the living dead, and I know that in my faculty position because I've been to staff parties at East Lansing Technical. Some of those professors are so friggin' old, they've got to be dead. A couple of them claimed to have bought booze for Edison because he was underage. I mean, that's how old they are. And then, of course, Professor Thag, always bragging about inventing the wheel. I think if he'd really invented the wheel, he could afford better than the animal skin he wears. But, I mean, there are some really ancient people there, and they must be zombies or living dead. I'm the kid of the staff.
And how old are you exactly, if you don't mind me asking?
I'm 73 years old. So I'm not doing bad for a 73-year-old. And it's been I've been reviewing my life the last couple weeks, and I will say bits are coming back to me. The whole
I was gonna ask you if you had any recollections yet of
vague.
the trip to
Yes,
Area
there's
51.
been some vague things come back. I have a very clear memory of Phil Swift gluing a mustache to me with Flex Seal, and then had some sort of memory of like being involved with an alien, and just I remember thinking very clearly, boy, this stuff really is waterproof. I do remember something about the alien suppository, which seems to still have effect. Brubaker ain't complaining, I'll tell you that. But I remember going to the Area 51 and then not being able to access it and going along. And I also have some sort of vague memory of of a gray alien standing over me, going, "He's not going to remember any of this," and I think alien laughing, and I sneezed in his face, and then I don't remember much else. But things are starting to come back to me a little bit.
So, question on that: Did he actually speak English, or was it like telepathic? Because I hear that they can do that.
Unclear. I'm not. They
I
don't
guess.
really have mouths per se, so maybe he was talking out of. They have plenty of openings, but not a mouth per se. So I can't answer that actually. It could have been telepathic. It could have been talking out of some other hole. But yeah, it's been now the other part of this. Taylor Swift came up, and I can confirm Taylor Swift sucks. I don't know if she's a vampire, but I can confirm Taylor Swift sucks.
Oh,
I'm still bitter about that. I'm not gonna lie.
Question came up earlier. If somebody can technically be both a zombie with their corpse and a ghost with, their spirit. Any insight into that?
Well, if we go to mythology, which I'm a professor of mythology, so luckily I have a little training in this. Yeah, they are separated. The spirit would reside in the physical body until there is a disconnecting event, and of course that disconnecting event is death. So if the body is technically dead, i.e., a zombie, they could potentially have a ghost, but they would not be connected any longer. So
Right.
that is actually something fairly terrifying to think about. You've got zombie and a ghost chasing you all at the same time.
Right.
Zoinks!
Another important question. The monsters are Adam's family.
Oh, for sure, the Munsters.
Yes.
It's a no-brainer. The
Yes.
hot rods that they had on that show. I'm a bit of a gearhead, and the Herman's car, fantastic, and of course,
That's what I'm talking about.
yeah,
Something had a shadow.
the hot rods on that show were great. Now, Morticia, hubba.
That's
So-
what I'm
Come
saying.
on
there's a
now,
point
Lily
there.
though. Come on.
Not
Yeah,
bad.
no, Morticia, man, all day long.
Yes. I would not
Ah,
kick either of them out of bed for eating undead crackers.
I mean, you have Marilyn on the Monsters. That was kind of crazy.
yeah.
Blue,
she's-
stop bragging.
Yeah, the niece. Yes.
Yeah, they would always say how ugly she was.
Right.
No, I thought the blonde niece. I don't even know how, but wasn't she human?
Yeah, yes, but they always said she was disfigurably ugly, and she was
Right.
Well,
Really
yeah,
high.
because
Yes, I believe they
Yeah.
felt bad for her because of
Yeah.
her physical
Right.
lacking conditions. So, which is I believe was part of the comedy part of that program.
Oh, that was a comedy. I thought that was more.
That
of
was
like
my
a-
understanding. Yes,
I thought it was like a documentary.
I don't believe so. No, I think that
Oh,
was the age
okay.
of television where everything was a bit of a
I
comedy.
Gotcha. So
Including certainly the Addams family, because no real person would kill beautiful Lionel Trains like that. That was just criminal.
yeah.
But that is my brief update. I'm surviving. If I can keep going until January when the new semester starts and I'm reinstated, if I can keep the lights on, if I can keep it up with Brubaker and the others, yeah, I think
Right.
I'll squeak by.
yeah,
At
sounds
least
like
you got
you-
Brubaker.
Well, again, she didn't can me, so I'm grateful on that front.
yeah.
Wasn't looking good. They weren't buying the alien story. Frankly, I wasn't buying the alien story either. But like I said, some of the memories are starting to come back to me a little bit. I don't remember
So-
a whole lot of it, but
Have you
So
heard
Clearly,
from
something
Bigfoot?
bizarre really happened to me.
What was the Bigfoot's name? Have you heard from him? He kind of like
Carl.
asshole down on you.
Oh,
Carl.
Carl, yeah, fuck Carl. I thought he was my friend. No, he's just a big hairy asshole. Yeah, I found out who my true friends were in this situation, and
Yeah.
it weren't Carl.
Yeah. Well,
Are werewolves real? We should discuss that. If they are, I've got Carl's address, and I'll send some up there.
What about vampires? What's your thoughts on vampires?
It's an interesting. I caught a bit of the program earlier when you were discussing Vlad the Impaler, and some of the other. Certainly, the mythology and folklore have had between Vlad and some of the other ones. It's been a part of our record for a very long time. So there clearly is some evidence to suggest that this is a real phenomenon. I don't personally have a whole lot of experience with it, except for the aforementioned Taylor Swift, who, let's review, she sucks. Like a vampire. I don't know that Taylor Swift is a vampire. But
Does she swallow?
yes, I have not personally encountered a vampire, but there is reason to believe that is a probable, that there are conditions medical that require blood to be consumed. So certainly that could be why this mythology grew, and so there may be actual truth to it, that other humans feeding or creatures feeding on humans for sustenance.
Yeah, it's true. Cannibals.
Yeah.
Maybe that's where it started. They like to sop their human meat in the soup.
Well, and so if you think about it, that's what vampires and also zombies both are kind of tied back to cannibalism in a way, and so that's probably where a lot of that came from. And then they're tied to ghosts in a completely different way. But yeah.
Yeah, distinctly possible. I'm sure. Well, I don't know about you, but I've encountered a few human beings that were pretty tasty, if you know what I mean.
Wait. So, are you saying
Eat
that
me.
you are a cannibal? That you partake in eating human?
Well, eating is a broad term, but in the broadest sense, yes.
Australian kisses.
Hey, I'm not digesting anyone, if that's what you're asking. No.
Oh man. So is Taylor Swift a cannibal? Can that be confirmed?
In the broadest sense, indeed.
Oh man.
Yeah, that was a wonderful period of my life.
So I got a question. You're East Lansing knows about this
Michael.
program now, right? Because of
Yes, yes.
So do they tune in, and do they know that you call in? And
Well, I've been prohibited from the campus, so I can't confirm that for sure. But a few
Gotcha.
of the other female professors that I've delivered pizza to have mentioned, if I knew pole vault's number. So I would have to assume that, yes, they watch the program at least a little bit.
Tell them it's on the bathroom wall. Under a good time.
Very good. Yes, I'll let them know that, Mr. Vault.
Thank you.
So yes, your appearance at my hearing got attention. That's for sure.
That's what we're looking for. Results.
Well, we certainly got results. I'm suspended.
Good job, Bobo. Good job.
Well, it gave it the old college try.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, Pole Vault clearly flunked out of college. It was not a very good try.
Well, it was West Lansing, It was tough.
Yeah, well, they suck over there.
Yeah. The football team's good, though.
Well, every football team's better than our football team.
Go Slugs.
The only time the East Lansing Technical College football team won a championship was during the war. All the men were over fighting, and it was the women that were on the football team. And they kicked ass. Frankly, we should get the gals back on the team because our team is horrible. We have not won a game since 1973 or 74. Like my second year on, yeah. They're not very good. That's what I'm trying to say here.
So if you're in a zombie apocalypse, what's your weapon of choice?
Bunsen burner. No question, I got those handy. I'll light those little bastards up.
All right, yeah, you can.
No, I think about it. Maybe I should get some longer hoses so I could be a little more mobile. Yeah, Bunsen burner would be my weapon of choice.
Nice.
All right.
And the stink bomb that me and the chemistry professors make on Halloween. That would probably drive them off.
Wait, what do you do with the stink bomb?
Well, the chemistry guys get bored. Every once in a while, they'll mix up a batch of stink bomb for Halloween so we can get out early. They're kind of pranksters over in the chem lab.
That's the chem lab calling.
Yeah. Now that was my doorbell. Hold on, just a minute. Hello? I didn't order a pizza. Okay. All right.
They want a pizza.
That was weird. Swifty Pizza. I didn't order a pizza. Holy shit.
Sure they weren't calling for you to deliver a pizza?
No, gentlemen, this is a pizza box full of $50 bills. What the? There's a note. Hold on. You'll stop mentioning my name if you know what's good for you.
Oh, shit.
P.S. I know the aliens, and they could come back. I think I've just been threatened and bribed simultaneously. That's a lot of money. Okay, I think I can get past the rest of this semester. I could tell Brewbaker to pound it. All right. Well, what I said earlier about that person sucking, that I never said that. That's all right. Yeah, I think hey, I've got a little scratch. I think I'm gonna head down to the kitty cat club. Polval, get in your car. I'll meet you there in 40 minutes.
I will be there.
All right. I'm off. Have a good one, men.
All right, we will see you later, Professor. I
Peace.
did happen to get this photo of you doing some scientific studies on ghosts.
Looks like
that
he's doing
Brubaker?
scientific DMT.
Look like a Brewbaker over there on the corner.
Okay, here's side by side. So, chat, number 1 for Lily, number 2 for Morticia. Drop those 1s and 2s. Come on now.
Man.
Look, man,
That's really
that's so unfair because I really like both of them so much.
Me too. That's really tough. But from these two pictures, I mean, I gotta go 2.
Ah,
I mean,
Nah, you can't play the two characters off of it because it wasn't the characters I disliked. It was the overall show. I just didn't like the monsters as much.
now look at this picture here. Look at that picture on the right.
mm-hmm.
Does that not look like Lady Campion? She looked just like that the other night. Her costume,
right.
she was wearing a black dress and had her hair
Oh,
all
wow.
down like that. She looked just like that.
I don't like this one. Conspiracy types in the chat. He puts 2, and then my name says I'm picking 2 also. So, yeah.
Yeah, maybe I
I'm-
shouldn't vote in StreamYard chat. I should vote in my
I'm
personal chat.
monsters all the way in every single
Well,
way.
you
Every
know, she was a
category?
model. The Munsters was a like a model and a star before she got on that show. She was she had always been. Like I said, I don't. They were. I hate to choose between the two because they were both very attractive.
I know the Munsters were a little more rock and roll to me.
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
I mean, come on, they had the monkeys on there. Can't get any more rock and roll than that.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm a little twisted. I kind of like the sexual aspect of the Addams family. I mean, Morticia Gomez was really like going at it a lot, you know.
They really loved each other.
Yeah. And Grandpa just kind of like, threw me off a little bit. There's Camellia. She's like saying we should have thrown Elvira in that mix.
Well, Elvira stands on her own, and she's,
and you really need to see Elvira without the wig.
I met her one time at a horror convention. I mean, it ain't like we're buddies. I've seen her, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Also seen the dude from House of a Thousand Corpses, the clown.
Yeah, I met him.
Well, Chad, I was going to go to say something to him, and I was going to go get my picture with him or something. And this guy's like, hey, can I take my picture with you? And he turned around and he was like, motherfucker, do I go to your job and ask you to get a goddamn picture with you? Hey, I was just like, oh, God, I'm so glad it was that guy. Hey, I'm just telling you, he wasn't too far off in real life than he was on the movie.
Yeah.
Which was even super cool to me. I was like,
I actually interviewed Sid Haig, and I got a photo of him flipping me off.
What? What? That's cool. Chad, damn it.
George Romero is one I seen in person too. I didn't want to wait in line though to actually talk to him and get his autograph, but I saw him.
I always like those horror conventions. They're really cool.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Shit, I don't have that. I don't have next month's block party set up yet. I got to do that this weekend. I wanted to remind everybody real quick, especially artists out there, we still have 8 spots open for our 12 premieres on the 12th, our 12 on 12. I'm looking forward to this, man. Already there's some pretty awesome names that are going to be on this field trip day. I'm excited. Everybody will have a field trip day. I think what we'll do, we'll have 12 artists to feature. So we'll play a couple of the artists' videos before we head over to their premiere for their new video. And that'll take up some of the space between the field trips. And then that way we can focus a lot of the attention on the 12 artists that have their premieres. And that's going to be a field trip day, so make sure you bring your permission slips. Because you know how Chris Lane is on the bus. You got to show him your permission slips. Bring your sack lunches. And you know what I mean by sack lunches?
Yeah, Pookie, bring your own snacks.
Well, Walt will bring snacks for everyone. And
shut up. I'm already starving.
Oh, man, I scored some badass snacks for the Halloween party today. It's all I can do not to get into them.
Oh, my.
Oh, I know you ain't to it yet, but I'm so stoked about the Halloween party, man. That's going to be a big one.
Yep, that's actually what we're going to talk about next. It's the Spooktacular Block Party. Let me give you guys a link to that. Just so you know, me and Chad will be there. Pole Vault will be there. Son of Snake will be there. Sid Carter West will be there. Quincy Kane will be there. Who am I missing?
Well,
Development should be there.
Yeah, development.
Yeah, Development of Void will be there.
Yeah.
And of course, we'll all have costumes on. So I'm looking forward to that. It'll be next Friday. That's going to be a lot of fun.
It's going to be huge. Be there or be square. That's going to be the big one.
And then the very next day, Chad has his show, the Ham Halloween Hootenanny.
Yes, and that's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a long show too. I'm going to admit it right now because I have been creating a Halloween playlist basically all year long, and then all of a sudden I'm getting hit with all these great videos left and right, and I'm like, oh man, how am I going to cut all this down? And then Tabitha Raines has confirmed that she's going to be on. Kate Tantrum's confirmed that she's going to be on, and hopefully Jessica Cameron, who's a filmmaker, actress, and do-it-yourself beauty guru. She had said she was going to be on, but just I'd like to confirm the week of. Hadn't heard back from her yet, but yeah, hopefully she'll be there too. And yeah, lots of fun videos. Got some exclusives that haven't been seen before from Robbie Stingle, Blue Unicorn with Lady Campion. Michael Songs is working on one, so yeah, it's going to be good.
Is a hootenanny a little fancier than a shindig or a hoedown?
They're about the same, I think.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, I think so. Oh, she doesn't have that one set up yet.
But yeah,
right.
at least 30 videos, if not more, and yeah, it's gonna be a long show. It'll be good though.
Next Sunday, we will delve into all the traditions and all of the myths and everything surrounding Halloween.
Candy and all kinds of stuff getting
Yeah.
talked. That's going to be so fun.
All the good stuff. All the good stuff behind Halloween. All the myths and scary stories. And I have some pretty good stories of some awesome times me and my brother had out trick-or-treating when we were 13 years old. So I'll definitely share some stories. But yeah, that'll be fun. Myths, legends, and traditions, definitely.
It's gonna be a good weekend next weekend.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And that's gonna finish the month out. But let me tell you guys something here. So just so you guys know, for the month of November, you can see these are all upcoming shows that me and Chad and we're all going to be doing. And I don't even have them all uploaded yet, so I still got to create more shows this week for November. And that's just my channel. If you come over to Chad's channel and look at Chad's channel, his is the same way, man.
Right.
He's got all kinds of stuff lined up.
It's that party time of year.
We got shows in November, Thanksgiving shows coming up. And speaking of Thanksgiving shows, what me and Chad want to do is we want to kind of get a montage of clips from you guys out in the community. Just a 5-second clip or a 10-second clip, just to say what you're thankful for.
Yeah.
What are you thankful for in this world?
Right.
And we want to put it all together into a video and play it. So
yeah, I think it'll be really cool. It can be anything that you want. It doesn't have to do with music or the community, or it can have to do with that. Whatever you want to do. Just something quick that says, "Hey, my name's Povalt, and I'm thankful for candy corn." And
yeah, just what you're thankful for. And if you don't want to show your face, you can still make a quick video. Just don't use your face. Use your avatar, or use a Halloween picture or something like that, or a Thanksgiving picture, and just give a 5 or 10 second quote or something on just what you're thankful for. And that's just something we want to play.
And Meows is already ready for that Britney show December 2nd. Me too.
Yeah, that'll be good.
In fact, my Britney book's coming in this week. So
He's checking the tracking right now.
Oh man. Oh man.
So yeah, we'd love to put together a montage video of all of you guys out in the community. Of
Yeah.
course, I'll make a clip and Chad will make a clip,
Yeah.
and we'll force all of our friends
Yeah.
around here to make a clip.
Yeah. I'm gonna be hitting people up. So
Yeah, and I think it'd be a good way for people in the community to see what we're all thankful for. And it doesn't have to be about this community. It can just be
Right.
whatever you're thankful for
Right.
in your life. And,
Yeah.
yeah, and I think that'll be a lot of fun. And it'd be a lot of a way for you guys to participate in the videos. And so don't be scared if your face, you don't have to have your face on the video. It could be a picture of anything you want. So please, if you guys want to get a hold of me and Chad or email us, and yeah, send us a clip. That would be awesome. Oh, what else? The 12 on 12. You guys got, hey, Blue, if you got a premiere, we'd love to premiere it on January 12th, 2024. I want to go back to this here real quick. Because if you guys, let me give you the link to this again. If you guys go down into the description of this 12 to 12, it'll show you the times and the premieres that we've already got loaded in. I'll eventually change all of these channel links to the links to the premieres.
Right.
So as soon as they have their premiere link, I'll change their channel link to premieres. So you can already see we already have 5 premieres in there, and we have 8 spots left. So you guys better get to it quick, and we'd love to have anybody that's willing to do a premiere on the 12 on 12 field trip day. I'm looking forward to that.
And yes, GamPro, I did get the email, and yes, definitely I'm gonna have some GamPro on the Halloween show. He's got some really cool and funny Halloween clips, so
Oh yeah.
I'm definitely gonna include him in the show Saturday.
Wonder if that's gonna be Little Terp. Oh yeah. I dig Little
Yep,
Terp.
yep,
Man.
yep.
I dig Little Terping.
But yeah, a lot of cool stuff coming up, and you know, we've got shows all planned out for the next month for the Rockin' Rabbit Holes. But if any of you have any ideas, you know, share it in chats, share it in comments. You know, message me or Clay. We're definitely open to ideas. But I think this is a fun show just to, you know, explore a little bit, some silliness.
I love it. I'm
yeah.
having a great time.
Yeah.
And I'm actually learning some stuff about some of the stuff that I didn't know. Like, I had no clue Taylor Swift was in charge of the Illuminati. I had no clue. Just so
Hey, do you still have that that video, that live video feed? I was just wondering if there was any update on that
oh, let me check real
before we leave.
Yeah, let me check real quick. Just so you guys know as well, our Rockin' Rabbit Holes for November, we're going to do the 1111 code to or Angel's Numbers, if you guys have ever heard of that. And then we're going to talk about Slender Man one night. We're going to talk about talking to the dead, like seances and Ouija boards. And then we're going to finish the month of November out with frequencies, talking about music frequencies and different frequencies and how they affect the body. And then one of the shows in December is Black-Eyed Children, if you guys have ever heard of that. I'd never heard of it until Chad had mentioned that. I thought that was pretty cool.
Vault brought it up.
And then when we get close to Christmas, we'll do Rockin' Rabbit Holes on Krampus. And we'll dig into Krampus as well.
That's who's coming to get Chad.
Bring him on. I love that Krampus movie. It's so good.
Hey,
It was
Latina and
weird.
Callie,
Man.
good
That
to
was
see you.
weird.
Yeah.
The end was really weird, man. I like that movie. That was a good movie. I did watch it.
I was just thinking of the Black-Eyed Children today, so I'm glad you brought that up.
Oh, that is really, really crazy.
I figured that'd make a good show. There's a lot of mythology about those kids.
Yeah.
Are you talking about this live cam, the zombie cam?
Yeah. There's a few more people out there.
Yeah, if you guys don't know what this is, considering we were talking about zombies, this is America's zombies right now. This is in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. This is on Kensington Avenue, one of the worst open drug era markets in America. As you can see, it's pretty quiet tonight, but normally there are hundreds of people standing out here.
They
And,
do have like fires going on though. Like that's
Yeah, that you see across the street, that's all homeless people across
Yeah,
the
yeah.
street.
There's a
Like
fire
tents and
there,
stuff.
and there's just a fire in front of whatever this building
That's
is.
cleaned
too.
up a whole lot. That's cleaned up a whole lot. Clay showed me one of like a week or two ago, and it really fit the.
See them
Are
rats?
those rats running
Yeah.
down the sidewalk?
Yeah.
Yep.
Look
look
at those
at 'em.
rats!
Wow.
Wow! Oh wow!
It looks like a set of a third world country, like
Yeah,
a movie set.
Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. And
Look
Uh,
at
the-
them.
the drug of choice out here now is called Trank. And it's horse tranquilizer mixed with fucking fentanyl, I believe. And it's some crazy ass shit. And you'll see them when they're on it because they get bent over. They're like completely bent over, like they're touching their toes. And they sit there for hours just in this trance. And basically zombies just stand there and do nothing.
Dude, those rats got zero fucks given, man. They're just like, hey, what's up?
Yeah, that fire's getting a
Wow.
little out of control.
Yeah, I think that was out of control. And just so you know, I posted the link there. This is a live cam. This is happening right now.
Wow.
Right now on Kensington Avenue.
Crazy.
Wow.
I mean, and this is happening in every city. I could go uptown right now to our Skid Row, where we have blocks, even here in Salt Lake City, Utah, blocks and blocks of people living in tents on the sidewalk and, you know, open drug air markets and.
Wow. So, I mean, they just openly do drugs on the streets, huh?
Yeah, they'll shoot dope right there. And
That
see
guy's
with this
putting
drug,
a bag over his head. What in the world?
and the thing with this new trank drug is it collapses your veins. So once they get through all of their veins, they run out of veins, and a lot of times you'll see people that they have to have somebody else give it to them in their neck.
Wow.
So you'll
Wow.
often see them standing there, one person standing there, and another person giving them their dose in their neck.
Yeah.
And
It's
like
sad. It
And
is
this is all
sad.
cleaned up. They come through and clean this up like every so many days. But like, if you was to look at this as Sunday, if you look at this tomorrow night, there'd be 50 people out here, camped out on the sidewalk doing drugs. It's crazy. It's sad, really, but
Yeah. it
modern
is.
day zombies, you know,
Yeah.
crazy stuff. Crazy stuff. All right, you guys got anything coming up? DJ Natural Blue, Pole Vault, anything coming up in your guys' world?
I got this Halloween party thing coming up this next weekend, man. It's going to be a blowout.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that.
Dude,
It's gonna be a
I've
lot of
been,
fun.
when Chad mentioned it, 2 months ago, I was like, I'm there. I'm so
I think it was more like 4 months ago.
Yeah. So I've been waiting for that. I've been waiting for next week for a long time. It's going
Yeah.
to be a party. It's going to be really close to an internet party.
Yeah, it's
I
gonna be
mean,
a lot of fun.
I got nada.
Hopefully, we can get a bunch of people come up and show off their costumes, and
Yeah.
Oh, it's going to be groovy. It's going to be groovy.
definitely looking forward to that. Alrighty. Oh, and I did. I'll tell you guys after the show's over. I can't really
I'm just
announce
telling
it right
anybody
now.
that's watching this, you want to tune in for next week's Halloween party. I cannot stress
This
that
week's.
This
Yeah,
this
this
week's
week's Friday night.
you peanut butter jelly mixing bowl. Oh God. Okay, this week's. It's going to be a party, everybody. It's going to be a big party.
Yeah, it
Tell
is
your
definitely going
friends.
to be a big party. And I know we're going to have some music. We're going to have some awesome costumes. We're going to have a lot of laughs. That's guaranteed. So I'm definitely looking forward to it. All right, everybody. It has been 2 hours and 17 minutes, so thank you all for hanging out with us tonight. I love doing these Rock and Rabbit Hole shows. Of course, I love all the guys that hang out with us. Normally, we'll have more people on the panel, but some of the guys couldn't make it tonight because YouTube is YouTube and life is life, and life happens first. So, you guys got anything before we go?
Nothing that we haven't hit on already, I think.
Wait, did I mention next week's party?
And I'm looking forward to doing this costume, but I'm afraid
It's going to be groovy, man.
part of it might not work. So,
And this is going to be Pole Vault's costume.
I
baba
wish.
boom. I think I had that poster on my wall when I was like 13. That poster might have helped me through puberty, come to think of it. Thank you all for hanging out with us tonight. I love these shows. I'm looking forward to next week's for sure. I'll delve into the actual myth and legends behind Halloween. That's going to be a lot of fun. So thank you all for hanging out with us tonight. We had a pretty good crowd tonight, so thanks for hanging out with us for both hours. Hopefully we'll see you Friday night for the block party. It's going to be an amazing show. We're going to have Development of a Void, Son of Snake, Pole Vault. Of course, me and Chad are going to be there. Quincy Kane is going to be there. Sid Carter West is going to be there. And some of our friends will show up as well. So definitely looking forward to that. Y'all have a good night. We're going to go out tonight with a video from our friend Pole Vault. Do you want to tell us a little about this one before we go out?
Yeah, I don't agree with this guy's tactics, but damn it, this guy's got style.
Fair enough. Thanks for hanging out with us, everybody. We love you all, and we'll see you next week.